Watch this video guide if you want to know how to scramble the lower half of Heyden Brook. There is a single grade 1.5 stroke grade 2 waterfall and a swim pool halfway up and lots of cascades to clamber up. Heyden Brook lies to the west of and runs roughly parallel to the A6024, which is the Woodhead Road north of the Woodhead Reservoir. Details of parking and routes and grading are given in the text description underneath the video.
This is the route in to Heyden Brook. Parked up there on the A6024, the little semicircular car parks along the route that runs from Woodhead Reservoir up to Holmfirth, and then following this fence line down into the brook. The path runs fairly clearly down through first Molinia and then Bracken and Bilberry, cutting diagonally across the slope and down towards the brook until we're now at a little tributary that's running into the brook. The main path from the car park goes as far as the large waterfall on Heyden Brook. You can keep going beyond that past a gate on the brook. It becomes more difficult until you get about here to the edge of the wood, and then it becomes even more difficult to get further than that. There is a path here that could take you through the wood potentially and maybe down further, for example here to that bridge, but beyond the edge of the wood here, as you can see, the brook looks relatively shallow in terms of its gradient, and so I would suggest that the starting point should be the edge of the wood. That is the northern edge of the wood. Here close up is the starting point at the edge of the wood with a series of small cascades. It's taken about 40 minutes to get here. Chosen to come in Heyden Brook today. Heyden Brook normally wouldn't be that full, but Storm Babbitt has just come through a couple of days ago, so it's going to be fuller than normal, but not too bad. The grass at the side has been flattened and swirled, showing that the water level was considerably higher than this a couple of days ago. This initial cascade is up to chest deep, and there's a bit of a whirlpool effect going on, so you need to take quite a bit of care in going up, maybe on the left hand side. This first part of Heyden Brook out of the wood is pretty straightforward, but the pools in front of each one of the cascades vary from thigh to waist up to chest deep. The force of the water is not so much as to be problematic, but it's enjoyable. There's a bit of resistance when you're trying to get up the falls, and also, blessedly, the surface underneath is pretty good, not too slippery at all. The cascades are interspersed with flatter sections like this one, where you might as well get out and walk. This pool is really deep, nice for swimming in, particularly if it was a little bit warmer in the summer. Can't really see any way up on the left hand side, but over here on the right you took several goes, but you can just about get along that ledge there, then climb through the waterfall, very forceful, and then through and either up there or up around the side there to get through to the top. Above the waterfall there are 3 or 4 nice cascades, kind of 3-4 foot high, leading up to this gate and fence over Heyden Brook, and further series of shallow cascades further up the brook. Heyden Clough narrows at this point, and the brook turns into a rapid series of cascades. The brook has been incrementally, steadily losing gradient, losing volume, until you get to these cliffs where it really is very tame indeed. I'm now at Clough, which seems a pretty good place to get out and complete the lower half of Heyden Brook. The upper reaches of Heyden Clough I'm going to leave for another day. Overall, Heyden Clough was a pretty good choice a couple of days after a major storm because the water was forceful. It was pretty deep in places, but it was never dangerous. Probably would be quite different on a summer's day, say after it had been dry for quite a time. That might not be worth doing. But it was quite easy to reach, start point maybe 30 to 40 minutes from the car park. The main waterfall was a proper challenge with a nice swimming pool underneath, and I didn't mention as well that you can go behind the waterfall in the pool too. I would rate that waterfall probably around a grade 1.5 or a grade 2. The rest of it, nothing like so much as some more like grade 0.5. But the cascades were pretty constant and kept me busy, and if at all the gradient slackened off or there was a lack of cascades, it was easy enough to just get out and walk alongside. So yeah, I'm pretty glad I did Heyden Brook.